This is the advanced strat we use for this horror. This is dead skip. This replaces a fast kill on the horror, which is when you cut the heads of the horror. Here we instead are going to do 3 hits from the back, but it's gonna be on the body, and then 1 from the front. The idea is that you leave it like that on low HP, and then you kill it with a chakram from far away and open the door at the same time. It should look like this. You go back. 1, 2, 3. There, I was able to do 3 attacks before the electricity. If you get the electricity before the 3rd attack, you still want to pause after the electricity and like do an animation cancel like this to get the 3rd attack. Okay, that's totally fine. You can do it either on the 2nd or the 3rd, depending on how good your attack cancels are. So you anim cancel here to don't get knockback from the electricity, and then wait for the horror to turn around and hit it from the front, because if you hit it from the back, you're gonna kill it. You see? Like that. So instead, you wait to do an attack from the front, and then we're also gonna cancel that attack with an animation cancel with a chakram. So wait for a front attack, and here animation cancel for a chakram, and now head for the door. And when you're close to the door, you're gonna turn around with X and then target the horror, so R, and then you're going to slide from A to B. So that way you're gonna do a chakram attack and open the door. Like that. And then you can just match B here to get rid of this text. And keep going like this. Now this means you're gonna have chakrams here. So usually what I do is on this room, I do a pause to do a tool war, and on this same pause I can do my recovery. Okay? And if you do it before the barrier, you can attempt to do the recovery in the barrier. You need a recovery before Randao. It can be either on the barrier or on the Randao cutscene. You don't need both, but basically if you do it like this, you have 2 tries. So that's how you do it. Now, what is the risk of this trick? It has a very big risk. So you can see my effect timer is 2800, and if we go here, you see it's 3300. So effect timer will give you a sanity effect when it's 3600. Okay, so if I take too much time on this room, like this, I'm gonna take some extra time. That's a sanity effect. That's shrink player. Okay, I got it before killing this fucker. Then what this causes is it crashes the game. This will only happen with effects that reset the room. For example, shrink player, bloodbath. If you get Ed cinematic, you are also fucked up. That one doesn't crash, but that one will give you the rune in your inventory, not in the rune page. And from there is a soft lock because you can use the rune. Now to avoid this, there is one backup, but it is basically RNG. If you're really slow at the beginning of your Karim, you know you're gonna get an effect before finishing the fight, okay? Like if you're really, really slow, or if you actually see one, for example, a volume effect or things like that. In that case, you're safe. If you don't see anything and you're really slow, you can gamble for a recovery. So you will do the fight. 1, 2, so 2, anim cancel, 3, 1 on the front, and on this pause, again, this is if your early Karim is very slow, and if you don't see any effect. You will do this, and gamble for a recovery. And just cancel it. If you are lucky, you might have an explosion here, and that will prevent a sanity effect. So that only works if you're really slow. The real consistent way for this is just not be slow. So you see here, the sanity effect timer doesn't advance during this cutscene. Okay, it's, you know, stable all the time. So what you want to look for is you want to practice your movement on early Karim, you know, good movement, good angles, and like attack doors at a proper distance, don't get caught by enemies, all those things, in such a way that you get your effect timer close to this number. 2800 is like a standard timing that you can get, and with that you get enough time. maybe even with 2900. You can play around with it. You can actually modify this value on DME and see how clutch your fight has to be. And then get a feeling of how fast your movement is when you get this timer, okay? But again, you got to be good on this fight too. Like with 2900, it's probably very tight, I would say. I can try it anyways. But yeah, I don't think this will make it, but let's see, maybe. Just barely. Just barely. Now, I got lucky here. I got footstep trail, so that doesn't do anything. And then here. And you can try to do that on this one. If you don't get it, doesn't matter, because you can get it later on rundown. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that one.